you gonna start? Not you're not gonna start. I want to start.
Yeah.
Hey everybody. Well, we're back with another video, and we wanted to uh, um, continue this kind of topic that we were talking about before in just a little bit in another video that we had did about giving and receiving, and it was something that Sabrina had uh, talked a little bit about on social media, and it got a pretty good response and all. And I thought, so it would be something good to elaborate on. And so we've been thinking about it a little bit here and there in between all the chaos and you know trying to figure out how to live life and everything. Um, but I think that it's a really good. It's definitely a really good thing to understand. I think that not enough thought is put into it. Giving and receiving. Um, so, well, here we go. Um,
I would like to mention I lost my voice. It's been going in and out for the past couple weeks, so we were trying to see if we could get over that
yes.
hump. But
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's still trying to go. So I won't be doing a whole lot of talking on this.
Oh,
video.
I'm sure you will. But yeah, no. I hope you feel better. But
I'm not sick. I have allergies.
yes,
so.
I definitely feel for you, you allergy people. That I could just stick fresh cut grass up my nose and it wouldn't even bother me.
One time I saw this picture of this tree falling.
Yes. Oh yes. Slow motion.
And pollen goes everywhere. And just looking at the picture, it made me sneeze. That's how allergic I am.
Yeah. And now that rabbit trail's over. So, um, yeah. So there's always been this phrase, and a lot of talk about, being a giver and a receiver. Um, and, we thought about how it's, it can be done wrong. You can kind of give in a way that isn't, isn't healthy. And, you can receive in a way that isn't healthy. And, I was trying to think of terminology to use to help explain this, and so the best I could come up with was being, an unhealthy way of doing this is being a waster and a taker, because a lot of times the idea is that you could just give and give and give and give, and that's okay, because it is better to give than to receive. That's something else we wanted to talk about. But you can't just go about it robotically. That's really it just becomes like some kind of an empty religion or like a superstition or something. Like, I'll just give and I'm good to go and I don't have to worry about anything. And I think there needs to be more thought put into it, because you could end up being, what I call a waster, where you just, you have resources, or you have something to give, and you just throw it out there without even thinking about it. And so what are some of the negative effects of that? Well, what if you're supporting something that's not good? What if you're um, propping up something that could be hurting people, um, or prolonging the inevitable? Or another thing, you could be looking over someone that could actually, need to receive something, and then that kind of takes us to being a good receiver. Um, that because that's it's like that's hard to talk about with some people, because then you could have a pride issue, and that could hurt other people around you and yourself because you don't want to receive help. And that's something I've been there for sure, and that's unhealthy. and that puts a burden on everybody else when you're not living you know for the most good, really. So you know, but well, that's not really, I guess, like the unhealthy kind of idea, though. I'm talking about when I say taker, though. A taker is someone who just absorb and absorb and absorb every single thing they can, and they leave nothing for anybody else, and they just you know it's like stealing, essentially. Really, you could kind of just be someone who, and that's ultimately that's pretty much the far end of that spectrum of receiving is being a thief. And that's something we need to think about. Anytime that you are able to receive something, take in something, it's good to think about, like, do I really need this? Does someone else need this more than me? Uh, am I appreciating this? Or am I just going to throw it away? So,
I think that we could look at this like a broad term of giving and receiving, wasting and taking, but in the aspect of marriage, how easily your marriage can collapse if you do not do this in a healthy way. Because emotion is attached, and love, because when you give, it's supposed to be from the heart. And if you're not giving to your spouse from your heart, then where are you giving from? What is the root of that? So we need to be careful on how we receive and how we give to our spouse and to our children.
I know,
even.
as we're sitting here unpacking this, and this isn't really, this isn't at all scripted or whatever. This is kind of just candid talk that we do. Um, we start to kind of, get into the details, and so it isn't just like wasting and taking. Some other unhealthy things are not receiving at all, but which I guess I have to come up with a term for that. I don't know what it is, but it's being prideful and foregoing care for some uh, gosh, I don't even know what word to use. Just some trivial, contrite, petty thing. That's the word I'm looking for. Petty. And I just don't even like to say those words, but it's like, gosh, don't be that way. It's okay to receive when you need to. Someone told me one time, uh, um, be a blessing by letting me bless you, and you know that's that's that next level kind of thing that we're talking about. Um, and I know, and so back to marriage, and I think that really was kind of what sparked this topic, because in marriage, you can have someone who gives and someone who receives. I guess a lot of times that's um, the the husband is supposed to give and be the provider, and the wife is supposed to go shopping all the time and just be materialistic and all. Wait, no, that's not that's not how that's supposed to work.
Really?
So
Don't look at her credit card.
and yeah, I know. And now Alexa tells us when money gets spent, but for some reason it only matters when it's me, because it's her account, because I did it like that on purpose. So, but I still pay for it all. It doesn't matter. But so that's if you could just get Alexa to say, your husband has bought more tools that he doesn't need. Just so you know, you have 10 minutes left on your timer baking a cake.
So what you can actually do is, like, your husband buys tools and you get notified that the tools came in, so you just wrap it up When they get home, you're just like, hey, I got a gift for you.
Woo! Oh, yeah. See? Yes. That is some. That's. I don't even know what level that is. That's just Ninja Dragon Wizard level. Is people even still say anything like that, or did they ever even say that? I don't even know.
I thought it was cheating.
What?
Giving like that.
Yeah, oh
it's
yeah.
Not very thoughtful.
No, that's I. When you're married though, it's you just got to work it out. It's but the thought really counts though. I mean that would be something neat to do and all.
And I think that well, I have noticed in our family that if the couple, the husband and wife, if they're able to give and receive um, freely, kids give and receive freely. I think Brent, he's really good at sharing his food and just sharing his things, whatever. He's not like, oh, stingy, it's mine. And our kids have really taken that on. I think that they're really good.
I hope so. I mean, think they need to do it.
They're. I think that
more.
Our son Isaac might have a little bit of an issue of sharing, but anytime I ask, like my oldest daughter for a bite of her last piece of pie, she just so freely gives it. So they watch the parents and how they give and receive.
And yeah, and to talk about this in a marriage way, and in our marriage, I've definitely been the giver, and I'm a giving person and all, and she's definitely the receiver.
Not a taker.
And we've been married a little while, so it's better, I think. But no, but you can't. They say there's two kinds of people, and it's kind of a tool used to kind of try to explain something. But there's however many people there are in the world, that's how many different kinds of people there are. 7 point however many billion people. Everybody has their own kind of little thing, but it's good to generalize a little bit sometimes, and because people do fall into certain categories, and so but as far as 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 how I do things, I've definitely been a giver, and I've been a waster though, because people talk about just give and give, and it's okay to you just blindly give whatever, and it's like that's not. I've learned that is not a good way to be, and then definitely, and then you have this attitude of don't take any help and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and all that, and there's truth to that too. But ultimately, though, if you're not careful, that way of thinking isn't good. I mean, it isn't healthy to not ever receive something, or to just always give and give and give and give.
Yeah, if you think about it, you can say that you can never outgive each other. So maybe one can outgive another because they're the only ones giving. But if you're both giving, you're both receiving. That's a healthy medium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely easier to give when other people or your spouse is giving in return, because you could end up in a really bad place if you just constantly give to things that are just taking.
Mm-hmm. So a woman speaking to a man, what can a woman give their husband um, outside of material things? Typically, not. I know that not every man is the same. So what can a woman do for a man?
Well, there's
because men and women are different.
Yeah, and Well, there's this one video topic that we want to do. Um, but I don't think we have enough time for that one right now. So, but that one is coming soon. So stay tuned.
Not a sex video, but a sex topic video.
Yeah. Gosh. Wow.
Is that going to be edited out?
Yeah, no, we don't edit these, so this is all one take. So wow, I said I was being vague and trying to be mysterious and stuff, and he just blew it out of the water. Like, wow. So, um, so there's that. Um, and well, what are some other ways um, that are not so provocative that a wife can
do you need me to help
give.
you to get out of this? Probably.
No, I don't.
Respect is one. We can go that direction.
And yeah, yeah. Well, that's that emotion kind of thing. That it's an abstract thing. So maybe that's why a lot of people struggle with it. It isn't a tangible thing that you can hold on to, but ultimately, really, that's humans live in an abstract world. We don't we don't live in the jungle. Because we're created in God's image. We're just different, and so that's like a spiritual thing, and to respect your husband. So that's definitely, yes, that's big. You could say that a husband needs respect more than love. He needs love, um, and it's kind of the other way around for um, for the wife. She needs to be loved, and as well as respected. But yeah, and I've heard that before. I've always felt that way, and I've actually heard that talked about before, so I had confirmation
I think
on
that sometimes we don't really understand the word love. We're like, oh, I love her, but if you put it like this, to cherish and love her, when you put that cherish. We have a child.
Okay.
Hold on.
We should have gave him some water because he likes to receive.
He loves to receive. He's very good at it.
So.
He's receiving expert.
But all right, so another real quick. So something else that a wife could give her husband. And well, I mean, I don't know how to be like husband specific, but quality time, me time, not well, me time. Like, it is healthy to give your husband some time, give him some freedom to go hunting or guy time or something like that, or it is okay to read books, um, to help him have some personal time. That's but no, you can't have too much, guys. But it depends on where you're at and everything. So, but you want me to?
And food.
How?
I feel like most husbands like food, but I guess that's kind of material kind of thing.
You want me to ask you, or should we?
Yeah.
It's to.
Well, you answer it. I don't want to talk too much. So you say.
So what's the question?
So what do women? What should you give to your wife?
What can you give to your wife, or how can you be a giver to your wife? Well, I'll just tell you how I roll. You lay down your life like Jesus laid down his life for the church.
That's right.
Boom. Boom.
Give me a little bit better example.
What? Better example?
I mean, like, no.
It's Jesus.
You're not going to die on the cross for me.
Yes, thank God we don't have to do that. So,
so in what ways?
I try to, first thing, like I always say, first thing in the morning, I wake up, I know and acknowledge that I'm God's child first and foremost, and then I'm a man second, and then third. Yeah, sorry, I don't want to put you that far down the list, but which really I get there like instantly. I'm a husband, and so I give you the very first minute of the day, and that and my throughout the day, I try to you know make sure that you're okay and cared for, and then after that comes that the fact that I'm a father, and I have to take care of my kids, but
So how does that give to your wife?
Well, putting you before the children, um, and then my job. That's where does that even and other responsibilities, adulting or whatever. Um, that's even further down the list. So it's putting you um, in the place that you're supposed to be in, giving you that, because you have to. That's intentional. It isn't just a piece of paper. I hear people joke and say, well, my wife has to put up with me because it's the law. It's legal. We got a contract. It's like, well, you do, but we have a covenant before God, and that's a big deal, and you have to be intentional, in that. And so I give you, I would say I give you that. Is that I don't know if that's any more um, less vague than before. Not being trying to be too abstract. Um, but if you wanted a practical thing, give you a break, give you uh, well, I would say personal time, but really it would be give you more time with moi. Would be what you would want. So
Yeah.
give you more of this. Um, so I can't blame you.
I do like my personal time.
Wow. Yeah. Shift gears. Wrong gear. You didn't want that gear. Go back to that. I didn't want overdrive. Put it back in third. We're going up, trying to go up a hill here, and we're struggling. So no, to give you, yes, give you quality. Women have to have quality time. So, yep. It's a good answer.
Yes, good answer.
Yes. All right. Well, I think that's gonna do it. So, if you like the video, click like, subscribe to our channel. We've been crazy busy lately, and with all that's going on in the world right now, my gosh, we're watching a lot of YouTube, but I don't know how many videos we're going to be able to make. But yep. So we'll hopefully have some more videos coming soon.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.